Hey you all, I am back. Jay Priest, if you don't know who I am, and welcome to the channel. If you know, please subscribe, hit the bell, ring my bell for the notifications, and I'm just gonna dive into it. Okay, so this episode, let's minus the clear things that's hanging from this. But okay, what was interesting to me was Quad and her husband. You know, she fixed him this great dinner and everything else. Quad is coming out with a book. And so, she was just saying some things that she didn't like what he was saying, upholding, I guess, Curtis and his infidelity and everything else. And she felt like he was being a little too supportive and she was getting PO'd about that. But I just feel like, why set him up for a dinner and then you still feel like he should back down and change it, but he didn't change it. And what I'm noticing with the men on the show is that it's like they're being more vocal. And I guess because Curtis started it, and then all these women that's on the show feel affected because Jackie is their friend. So they have to kind of deal with it too. So it was like, she was in her feelings, and it kind of winged into something else or whatever. And basically she was telling him he don't take care of her and everything. She take care of herself, but the only thing that Quad named was a car note. And he was saying, I've been taking care of you since the day I met you or whatever. Because I guess when she was putting up the dishes and everything, she was giving him, not, I don't want to say some pointers, but she was like giving him a little praise. And he was like, thank you for even, acknowledging it. She was like, see, you always make it about you. But at that moment, it was about him because you did, say these things about him, that you appreciate him and all this other stuff. Well, it ended up getting bad because, those shoes that she had. Her car looked really, really nice. The thing about Quad is that she dresses really nice. She's a very beautiful woman. But it's just like, I just can't really know the real Quad. I guess that's what it is. But anywho, from this standpoint, it was like, okay, she gets upset and then she was like, well, I've been paying my car note or whatever. I take care of me, because he was saying he take care of her. And don't he pay the house note, and don't he take care of all the bills and everything, what a man is supposed to do. And I just felt like that I don't think he would have just thrown it up in her face, but I don't know if he throws it up in her face a lot. But Qual was like, she has tried to give him a check over a year's time, and he doesn't take the check or whatever. But I'm like, girl, bye. Because if you really wanted to help out and everything, whoever the mortgage company is, or if y'all got it from the bank and everything else, I'm sure you can find out that information and just double up on what he's doing, or whatever. And just if you really wanted to. But to me, I feel like you ain't try so hard to try to cover no mortgage note. That's just me. And yeah, you do cover your Porsche. I think she has a Porsche, so it depends on the credit and everything else. And she says she has good credit, so maybe it's up on $1,000. I don't know, but it sounds like she don't have too many bills, and probably like she take care of her puppies with her designer stuff, but house bills and everything else. She probably pay for food, but her clothing, but shelter and utilities and everything. It sounds like her husband takes care of that. But yeah, that was very interesting and stuff. And he was so upset. He was like, he don't have time for the BS or whatever. And I guess he was really trying to do this scene with her, but it turned for the worse. So when he left the house, how he left the house, we never seen him get this mad, say he ain't got time for the BS, and he storms out. When he stormed out in a little car, a little Mini Cooper. And it was like, what? It was just like, I just knew he was getting in a Range Rover, G-Wagon, or something like that. I just, in my mind, or even like a sports car or something, to zoom off in or whatever, a Maserati, something, but surely not a Mini Cooper. So that part was hilarious. And it had a little vroom vroom. I don't know if they added effects to that, but that was interesting. Who else was Toya, Contessa? Oh, Miss Renee. Now that's who's piquing my interest. It's Contessa with Miss Renee. Because Miss Renee seems like she's a very, very spicy lady. I mean, come on, she got a tattoo across her chest. And if y'all don't know, that's Donnell Jones' mama, okay? And she's the nanny of Contessa kids. So she was like, well, you're going to bring the the G, I guess the gangster B out or whatever and stuff like that. So Contessa seems like, she's trying to learn everybody, which I get it and everything else. And I think she's a pretty lady. But I want her to get some bundles. I really want to see bundles because she's a I don't want to say natural pretty with natural hair, but it's like I'm not saying like it's wrong to not have bundle. I don't want to say like it's wrong for you to really wear your natural hair, but you're on a show with these women and you have to step your game up, and that's just how I feel because I want to see her a little bit more polished because I know it's in her to do. She just need the fairies, the glam fairies, to come help her out. Yeah, because it seemed like it's just a press. It seems like she could still grease her scalp. I don't know. It seems very heavy and it's very thin. So I would like to see a more full length. If it's clip-ins, or something. I mean, she's in Atlanta, okay? Somebody can help her out. What other glam fairies? I know it's some in Atlanta. I know they station. So that's what I really want to see out of her. But yeah, she's just new and I still like her. Heavenly keeps taping with her daughter and everything. Her daughter is her, I don't want to say counselor, confidant. I don't know what to call it, but it's like, okay, I know I say this every week, but every week she's taping with this little girl about grown-up stuff. It's like, surely this little girl got other stuff that she could be doing, like working on her music and everything else instead of taping with her mom. And I just feel like that I think why Heavenly likes to tape with her daughter is because she can honestly take advice and won't get upset with her daughter. Because her daughter, like I say, she reads her every week. But it's just like I want Heavenly, because Heavenly don't take advice very well from adults. She know everything. But I guess from a child's point of view, she let her daughter get her together. So it's like child bite on that. Now, what was also interesting was Simone and Cecil. Okay, they are I'm just like this. When I was looking at it, Simone wants Cecil to own up. She really wants him to own up because in front of everybody else, he seems like to be the likable guy. But behind closed doors, she like, he got a mean streak. Oh, he got a little mean streak. And I think what it boils down to is that Simone is mad that people like Cecil. And you could tell that that's really Cecil. The show been on for 5 years. You could tell that that's just who his personality is. And everybody likes to be around him, and everything else. That's just him. And I feel like this. Cecil gives me that he is a man that he seems to be like, I want to say like a lot of things he can let go. He don't take personal, or whatever. He don't get involved with messy stuff with the women, and all this other stuff. That's not his place. He seems to be a good father, a good husband. But with Simone, I think, she doesn't like the fact that he's well liked. And you do have a mean side and trying to say that they spending this time together. Cecil got her together. He was like, no, by you coming in, you came in on Monday. You came in and I think she fell asleep. Tuesday, she had something else, some appointment. I don't know. And then Wednesday, she get her hair done. So he was like, so when you tell me, he said, now we had a week. So when you telling me we having time, it was like he read her really good. Okay. And I was like, yes, Cecil. And he started raising his voice. You could tell he started turning a little color. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if she was trying to bring something out of him, but she did a great job because you could tell I don't want to say that P word, but he's not a bad guy. It's like the Incredible Hulk. It's like she want him to turn green. So be like, people see you for who you are. But still, I feel like Simone is a nagger. I feel like she is a prude. I feel like sometimes she could be a great friend. But a lot of times with doctors and stuff, they are a little cocky. And I feel like that she's a little cocky at times. And, it's been okay for so long and all this other stuff. But it is what it is with that situation. So I just hope that they can work things out, and I hope Simone quit trying to pick out what your husband do. Pick out what you do and work on you, because that's the problem with people. People want other people to own up to what they do, but if you focus on what you need to work on and everything will fall in place. That's what you need to do. But it's like you want to keep pointing like it ain't just me, it's you. So that's a no, Simone. Get it together. Then she didn't want to tell the man that she was going on this trip. She is like, it slipped her mind. But I get it. She wanted him to be a little jealous and all this other stuff. And I like what Cecil say. You know, we ain't had this discussion. This ain't the time to be going. But I know Cecil was just saying that to give to make his stand as a husband, which I can appreciate that. But I know Cecil was jumping on the inside like a schoolboy on his last day of school. Like, I'm glad she gone. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Because I was like, someone please, gone on somewhere. But yeah, that was interesting. So all the women, they go to New Orleans because they all need a girls trip to release the stress and all this other stuff. And so Toya wants to come out and say, what's going on in her personal life with her and Eugene. And that was something else. Let me put a pause in there. She goes into this thing about how her and Eugene, they had a picnic. She has a $150 limit every day. She spent it pretty much on the picnic basket. It's like, girl, where you doing your shopping at? Like, come on. She needs to learn how to budget. I mean, look up some YouTube. I know it's people in that could teach you how to budget your money. Come on, Toya. And I like Toya. So that was interesting how the girls end up. I'm back on New Orleans now. Now they go to New Orleans and the rooms were beautiful. Michael room was really like Serenity. I guess they were named after angels, the fallen angels and the Angel Still in Heaven or something. Because one room was named after Michael. That was a suite that was like all white. It was like beautiful. And the one that say Lucifer, it was red and black. And Heavenly act like, she couldn't go in the room. And I'm just like, girl, you keep up the most mess like Satan. So why you think you can't go in the room? Her and what's her name? Dr. Jackie. But Dr. Jackie went along with it. She had her pose at the door or whatever. And like they were saying, it's all in the name. It had a stripper pole. It was like the decor was very beautiful in both of the rooms. And Heather was like, she couldn't stay in the room and everything. And another thing, they always picking on Toya about her weight. And that's something else that I don't like that Heavenly do. Because everybody was saying that Heavenly lost 150 pounds. And to me, you being a mean girl and that's supposed to be your friend. And you sitting here talking about with her big A and all of this other stuff, where's she going with that top she had on, looking like Beetlejuice or Foot Locker. And, I don't know if it's just being mean, was she really sincere, or is it that she's trying to keep her role on the show? But it's like, girl, you go too far sometimes for somebody named Heavenly. It's just too much for me at times because I'm like, that's still supposed to be your friend. And Toya and also Quad, they always like saying something about how big her legs was and all of this other stuff. It's like, to me as a plus size girl, it's like, I wouldn't want to have friends like y'all. I'll be done cuss y'all out for real because, I don't think she's big at all. And like even though the camera they say shows 10 pounds larger, I feel like she's must, a little lighter. She may be 15 pounds less than Quad, if that much. But it's like, girl, don't do it. Because Toya is still a cute girl, too. But, yeah, they was there. And Toya wanted to bring up her and Eugene. How Eugene is masturbating and all this other stuff. And to me, I just feel like that, you can't get mad. Because she was trying to go to the other women and ask them, how did they feel? How are they in their marriage? And Jackie, well, so, I mean, because Curtis done cheated on you and asking her certain things. And I'm glad how Dr. Jackie handles herself, because she handles herself in a very, very, sometimes she handles herself very well, and it's not like she's caught off guard or whatever. And she goes into saying what she was saying. She asked Quad, she was asking different women and all this other stuff, but nobody really wanted to share. Toya got mad, and Quad was telling her, she didn't have another thing that when they was in the bus, they was asking like who needs to work on what. One of the ladies was like, they need to work on patience. That was Heavenly. I think that was Heavenly say her patience. Yeah. even Simone was like, she need to work on her mouth, which she do. And it was just like Quab felt like she don't need to work on nothing. Which led, and then she did it again when they was at the table. Like, she didn't want to discuss nothing. And I feel like that if you don't want to discuss the personal of the sex, like, but it's like, you know, that's what friends do, but I guess it's on camera, so you don't really want to be an open book. But it's like, Quab, what do you want to talk about? And then you can't act like you don't have any flaws, like you just flawless. Like, no, you're not flawless, mama. You're not. And it's just kind of annoying to me, because it's like she has this shell, and it's like she puts on for people, but it's like I feel like I really don't know the real Quad, you know, because it's like, yes, hunty, you know, all the gay like lingo and stuff like that, and it's like I want to hear her language. I want to feel her energy. Like, who is the real Quad? Because I feel like I don't know on this season and last season. I don't know. I really don't know. It's like you fabulous, but you're not giving us nothing else. But that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. So I want to hear from you guys. Let me know, what did you think of this episode? Because it was a little boring to me, but I had to cover those things. Hopefully I wasn't too lengthy, but I shall move on to the Housewives. Okay, so stay tuned. Until then, bye-bye.